have affiliations with the black school. That's where it began. There, it's a tracking, observational, and informational gathering.
Fear-based beliefs lock into your survival.
Welcome to Weird Science and Freaky Magic, aka Sector 1. If you guys haven't given us a like, please give us a like and a subscribe. So today I want to talk to you guys a bit about ley lines. So ley lines, from the esoteric knowledge, is intersecting grids along the earth, and within these intersecting grids there's certain junction points across the earth where there's either vortexes or magnification of certain properties within the earth. So within creation there's frequency points, if you think about frequencies, and when certain frequency is applied, especially with resonant energy, it morphs into certain shapes, and within these certain shapes there's pockets of energies where it's concentrated to be able to manipulate and morph different shapes. It's kind of like if you were in a river, right? And the river is running downstream. Just imagine this river is the planet, and within this river is just a line, and when it's going downstream, sometimes it collects these pockets of whirlpools. So these whirlpools have a large collection of energy that's swirling around, and it's still within the river itself, but it's just along these lines these whirlpools seems to gravitate towards and generate these type of whirlpools. So if you think about the ley lines, same concept. With these ley lines there's intersecting points, certain points on earth. These magnify certain properties, and the ancient knowledge for these ley lines, they seem to be allocated to certain points where people build monuments on them. So these monuments, so if you look at the ley lines, the ancient civilizations that inhabited the earth, they seem to know where these ley lines. If you have a look at Egypt, it's dead on center of the earth, and that itself is on top of one of the ley lines. So if you look at different places like South America, same positioning, same type of structure is built. And also if you look at different sites, look at the other maps such as like the Bermuda Triangle, which lays along one of the ley line grids and is an overlay expression of different properties within the ley lines, and a lot of crafts and ships and people actually go missing along that Bermuda Triangle. Not too sure why that is, but it could be interdimensional doorway, or space-time is different properties around that area. So if you look at Las Vegas, that itself is on top of ley line, and what's happening there is the expression of chance, the expression of, I guess, luck or fortune. It exhibits those type of properties. That's why it's gathering so many like-minded people towards that area. Have you ever thought about, certain areas in your town where the rich people always gathered, and when they move they all kind of flock to that area, and money just seems to be generating from that area? So that's kind of like Las Vegas. It's a center point where it's generating a lot of potential, a potential for change, a potential for chance, a potential to make fortune, and also losses. So it's a flip side, but it has that creational energy where people are gathered for one specific, I guess, type of energy, which is like-mindedness of a chance to win big, a chance to have a new start, a chance to maybe make some riches, have some change. Yeah, so that's the expression of Las Vegas. So if you think about the ley lines, with the intersecting points, these overlay expression of creation kind of seeps through and it amplifies what is manifested in that area. So if you think about Earth as a round globe and it's sending out certain frequency, so the certain frequency is underneath the Schumann resonance frequency. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you the ley lines where they intersect, a map of the Earth, and then also the Schumann frequency. Then after that I'll combine them together and you'll see the expression of the frequency and also the ley lines, how they interact with each other. And you'll notice where the intersecting points are, where the frequency is at its strongest. So now you know there's the ley lines and also the Schumann resonance that kind of activates along the Earth. Just think about it, if a person has meridian lines, they are also kind of like ley lines within the body. So each one of these meridian lines are energy points. So if you had a blockages on one of these points, you will start to feel some ailments and also diseases come to play, because the energy cannot flow freely from one point to the other and it cannot express itself because it's been blocked. So what the acupuncturists do is they kind of free that blockage and also they release some of the energy that's been kind of built up on that area that needed to be released, so the flow can go back to your body and everything is functioning like it was before. Let's talk a little bit about the ley lines. So the ancient civilizations knew what these ley lines were and the importance of these ley lines. That's why these megalithic structures were placed exactly on these ley lines. It's not by chance, it's not by coincidence, and they knew there's certain properties within that area. That's why it was so highly contested and why these monuments were built on top of them. So if you think about the human body, each point with the energy point, intersecting points, where these ley lines occur on our naturally, and if you imagine the ley lines that are on Earth, these points of energy, these vortexes, have certain significant properties to them. So wars were fought over these sacred sites. If you think about Jerusalem, how many times has it been fought over? How many times has it been captured? How many times has it been retaken, captured, fought over? People have died for that specific spot. It's not because of geopolitical, but it's more because of the location, right? The location plays a very large factor in why these people are fighting for that particular spot. So in terms of energy grid, Jerusalem is actually on top of a ley line also. So if you think about transcendence meditation, if you put one of the transcendence meditators who is an amplifier, so these amplifiers are highly psychic. If they go into the ley lines, they can interface and interact with the ley lines. Not only can they amplify the manifestation of the creation force within the ley lines, if you get a whole group of them, they can change the outcome of events, not only events on this plane, but events on other planes. So future events, past events, and also change the current events and situations. This is a recent study by a city in the US, and they've been plagued with horrible crimes, huge crime rates, and the city was doing a study to curb these violent crimes. So they got a whole group of transcendence meditators to come into the city, and what these transcendence meditators did is they began to meditate peace and love, and that meditation vibrated throughout the city. So here's an excerpt from what happened after the meditators got into the city, right? So the meditation started, and not long into the meditation, they found that 21% reduction in violent crimes throughout the city from 2007 to 2010. So somehow these transcendent meditators were able to subdue some of the most violent crimes and lower the crime rate within the city just by them focusing their energy and their intent in peace and love and harmony. So if you think about one of these meditators but an amplifier placed in one of these ley lines, imagine what manifestation they can achieve just with their intent and their energy and their vibration alone. Okay, so studies showed that a large group of meditators, their techniques in the advanced program Timin Shidshi program had led to the reduce of society stress and reflect on the reduced rates of murders and violence. The group practice is said to create a positive effect environment due to hypnotizing field of the consciousness. So just imagine someone like Uri Geller, a highly psychic, if he goes to one of these ley lines and decided to imprint his intention onto that specific grid line, imagine the effect it would have on Earth. If he decided to say, hey guys, I'm gonna go to maybe the ley line that's close to Ukraine and Russia, and decided to focus on peace, focus on love, focus on ending the war, can you imagine what will happen to that conflict? That conflict will most likely cease overnight. You're talking about station amplifier to a degree, especially with someone like Uri Geller. I mean, like, it will instantly, you know, planes will just stop flying, missiles will not work, guns will probably melt, you know. I mean, yeah, just think about the force generated plus the creation of force backing the amplifier. So yeah, I'm just going on a bit of a rant. So I just thought that was a pretty good study that these type of amplifiers close to us to be used. Most likely they've already been used in other forms of psychic warfare. I'm guessing, look at your TV, was broadcasting all the fear base, all the warmongers, all the, I guess, military industrial complex. Who's profiting from this war? I mean, like, hopefully, maybe we just get together and just pray for peace. We can overcome this military industrial complex and their bloodlusts.